mean, that there, decent looking arch right there, you know? I mean, that's something worth fishing for to at least see what it is. All right, guys, I think we may have a fish going on this rod. Pow, hooked up. Got my new Gomex's power handle on here. These are my same old ancient Mariner reels, but I sexied them up a little bit with that. Nice, nice, nice. They got the counterbalance and everything like you need when you put a power handle on a bait casting reel. Gomexes.com, check them out. See what we got here, guys. Beautiful morning, light breeze, coming to the end of the spawn. Oh, it ain't coming quick enough. Don't know how it's gonna be today, but we got one hooked up anyway. I'm just covering water, making some long pulls here, trolling down through here to see what kind of life there is left. I got into another line. How do I do that? Imagine that. Mr. Channel Cat. Got a few bite marks. That one's been through doing their spawn also. Come here, baby. Nice fish. I'll get a weight and a measurement for the biologist. But yeah, a few bite marks. Looks fairly healed. Maybe that old spawn's coming to an end. Pow, fish number one in the boat. I'm happy to catch one. We're looking for the end of the spawn here. Water temperature's up to 82.5 degrees, about where it's supposed to be right now. Hopefully the spawn's gonna wind down and we can get into some consistent fish catching. So I'm seeing fish scattered all over the place on the sonar. Rode around, did some looking this morning. This is about the time fish start showing back up, fish start biting. Depending on where you're at in the country, that's gonna vary. It may have already started. So good news, good news. It's a good time to be back out on the water here coming into July. Outside of the heat and the boat traffic, that's the only thing we got going against us. Dragging nothing but cut bait today. Gonna see if I can find some hungry fish, some feeding fish, and just cover some water is all I'm doing. I'm going deep. I looked at some of the deeper river channel stuff here. There is a thermocline, but there are fish in it. That means it's oxygenated. That means it's still good. You can still fish it for now. That could change here very quickly. So we're gonna vary some stuff around, fishing a little deeper than what I was earlier in the year. I think that's where some of the fish are gonna start to be congregated up more. We'll see what happens here. Beautiful morning. See if we can stick another one. All right, guys, I think we got a fish. Yep, exact same rod. That's the last one. Isn't it funny how that goes sometimes? Isn't it funny? Been about probably 15 minutes since the last one. Little head shaker. Feels like a channel cat. Feels like another channel. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Got my bait back this time at least. Another one. Come on, girl. There we go. Maybe some of these are starting to wrap up with their spawn. I don't know. Try looking for the blues though. Looking for the blues. We're gonna find one before it's over with. Is he going? Yes. Hooked up. Hooked up. Got another fish. Y'all, I'm not trying to be biased here, but oh, Pinky looks sexy with that new power handle. It's fun to get new toys. I did a video on these power handles, and one of the things I said in the video is they don't help you catch fish at all. They sure look good on your gear when you're out there fishing. They are nice for leverage, especially when you're cranking on bigger fish, drag sucking fish, drag pushing fish. I do feel the cadence is a little bit better with them, but they don't make them bite. But God, they're pretty. We found a channel cat, y'all. We found the channel cats. Sadly, they're going downhill. That one's only 16 inches. Get a weight on him, chunk him back. Got everybody. Boom, there's another channel cat. At least we're catching some fish. I thought maybe dragging some cut bait would help eliminate some of the smaller fish from biting, but so far that hadn't worked. These little fellers are feeding aggressively. I got a feeling they're on the backside of their spawn. They're completely done with it and they're feeding up now. So is what it is. Gonna keep dragging through here. I got a nice slow cadence down through here. I'm still kind of in about 20 feet of water, so I hadn't rolled back into this river channel, and that's where we were marking some good arches earlier. Gonna try that a little bit further, see if we can get away from them. I know there's some good ones out here somewhere eating. It's just a matter of covering the water and trying to find them. So all right, let's see if this fish is hooked up. I think this one's on. What y'all didn't get to see is I had a couple of come unhooked. I don't know if they didn't have the bait. I don't know if they had the cork. I don't know if they had the drifting sinker, but we had a couple of hits, not hooked up. That's okay, that's fishing. We've caught 3. I mean, that's not a wash. It's just, I think we're in channel cats, and this feels like one again, and it is. Similar size. Man, just hoping I can keep dragging through here and find one that's some blues. I'm into the channel. I'm happy to have them, but I want something bigger. Well, guys, that's 4 channel catfish in a row. If I was fishing a tournament, or if I was out here looking for big fish, I would probably pull up and leave. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying, if that's the size, if I was targeting big fish, I would move. I got a feeling that's the majority of what's in this area that is active. Now, with that said, before I finish this sentence, one of these rods could fold over with a 30 or 40 pound blue catfish that has finished the spawn and is ready to eat. So I say all that to say, it just gives you a little perspective angle take on what you want to do. It depends on how you're fishing and what you're wanting to do. I'm going to keep dragging because honestly, you don't know when the switch is going to flip and you're into an area that's got some blues in it. Obviously, if you're bank fishing, man, you're going to sit there and catch channel cats or whatever bites because that's all you can do. You're limited on your bank, you know, on where you can go on the bank. In a boat, you got a few options. So I'm going to keep pulling through here, see if we can find something bigger. Gonna pull this for a while, see if any of these fish feed. Then I may pull up, make an adjustment, go somewhere else, see if we can find those bigger fish. That rod is going. It's amazing how many fish have come on this side of the boat. I don't know what is up with that. I actually checked the baits on the other side. They got bait. It's just this side of the boat for some reason. It'll happen. Actually, we had 2 on that side. All right, I'm losing my mind. There's been a lot of bites on this side. This is the side that had some of those that pulled off, but we did catch 2, because we did catch 2 off that same rod. This is, if we finally get a blue, it's a small fish. Let's see what we got here. Yep, small blue. Right species, wrong size. Somewhere out there, there's a big fish. There's number 5. We got the right species. It's the wrong size, a small blue. Man, we are into the small fish. We caught 5 fish. We got enough for dinner if we was keeping them. They're all going back. But yeah, just not into where some big feeding fish are. I'm coming out of this river channel now. I'm gonna kind of get up onto a flat adjacent to it. I'm gonna see if there's any fish there. I ain't got a whole lot of confidence in it. It just seemed like we're in an area where there's still spawning action happening. And dude, that's gonna happen. That's fishing. That's just the way it goes. You know, give it maybe, I don't know, another hour making this pull across here. I mean, that there, decent looking arch right there, you know. I mean, that's something worth fishing for to at least see what it is. We're into the shallower stuff. So we're above that thermal pocket that's out there. So we'll see what's in here, man. It's all you can do is, you can pick up and move. And as I say that, there goes a rod right there. There goes a rod. You got a hit on that one. I'd love to be smart and say that's the fish I was just pointing out on sonar. We're in about 20 feet of water now. Coming up out of that 35. Feels like a blue. A little bit better pull on this one. This is, give you a tackle review while we got something worth winching on. Some Andy monofilament, 30 pound. This is their monster. Ancient Mariner reel. Big cat fever. Catch the fever. Medium light trolling rods. I love the flexibility on these rods. Good for these hook setups. Good on those smaller fish. And they really make one of these better fish fun. It's in a giant, but good fun class fish for it. Now, if I was fishing some heavy current, chunking big weights, yeah, I'd have some heavier action rod. But for trolling through here, what we're in on reservoirs, mild current in the rivers, here we go. Dude, that's just a big channel. I thought he was gonna be bigger than that. That's just a healthy channel catfish. Just when I thought, and that was not the fish we saw on the screen for sure. It's healthier channel catfish, bigger than what we've been catching, but man, still. That was a good takedown on that fish. Another one hitting the fillets. We get this one back out. I just don't know where the better fish are, but I think we're getting into an area that looks like it has some. Yeah, I'm not sure where exactly the mat. I think there's a fish on this outside one. Hang on. Boom. Yep, he's there. Anyway, as I was saying, these fish are right here. I just looked up and I see this board going back. I think this is a better fish. I think this fish may have hit while I was fighting that other fish. This is finally one on the perch heads. I hadn't had a single bite on a perch head yet. All 6 fish that we caught up to this point have been on those fillets. Better fish here. This is a Big Cat Fever, one of their medium action rods. This is not the trolling rod. This is a little stiffer rod. One of the first white rods they came out with several years ago. Little stiffer action, but still a fun size, fun weight. Do like this power. I like how thick that power handle is. I like the thickness on it. Feels good in your hand. Anyway, let's see what we got. I'm betting money this is a blue. If it's a channel catfish, it's a big channel catfish. Yes, sir. That's a nice one. Nice fish. Nice fish. Trying to do the bugger grip. Shouldn't be doing this. I've gotten so good at these hook cuts. There we go. That's more what we're looking for there, Sassy. Took out. Yeah, I net most of them now since I do so many guide trips. That is more what we're looking for. A boat full of those, and we've had a good day. Heck yeah. Yeah, guys, the interesting thing about that fish was, and I didn't realize this until I got back here in the studio and started cutting this video, you know, I marked that big fish on the sonar, and then right after that, I caught the channel catfish, which I knew at that point that wasn't the fish I marked for a couple of reasons. One, the size difference, but the other thing is when you mark something underneath the boat and you are dragging or trolling baits, my baits are anywhere from 75 to 125 feet behind the boat. So I'm not going to catch that fish immediately. I'm not fishing directly underneath the boat when I'm trolling and drifting. So I knew it was going to take about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes before those baits would kind of be in that area. Sometimes if you're going slower, it may be 2.5, 3 minutes before you've covered that distance. And looking back on it, I got to editing this video, and as quickly as I caught that bigger blue after that channel catfish, I realized there was probably a pretty good chance that was the same fish, or at least it was something in that size range. You could see what that fish looked like on sonar, and that's typically about what a fish the size of the blue that I caught is going to be. So kind of interesting. It happens occasionally, you know, that you'll mark some fish and then boom, 2-3 minutes later you catch them. Is it the same fish? Could be, but you got to keep in mind too, as I've said in other videos about sonar, what you see on that screen is only about 1/4 the depth of the water. So if you're sitting in 16 feet of water, you're only looking at about a 4-foot circle directly underneath the boat. So things have to work out pretty good that that bait comes by the fish. But as I've said before, when you're dragging and trolling and pulling baits, those baits are moving, stirring up stuff on the bottom, and those fish will key in on that movement. They will key in on those vibrations and the noise that's created, and those fish may come from 40, 50, 60 feet away to investigate it and see what's going on. So my story is that fish on the sonar is the one I caught.